Hi, this is Alex Wood with the Journal Enquirer. I'm at the Whiton Library in Manchester with Larissa Babij, who grew up in Manchester, went to Manchester High School, and I guess we found out today you were actually valedictorian of your class at Manchester High School, but has lived most of her adult life in her family's ancestral homeland of Ukraine, and when the war started in February, opted to stay, and has stayed in Ukraine most of the time since then, the vast majority of the time since then. She's back on a brief visit, visiting some family, and gave a talk just now at Whiton where she read from the newsletter that she's been writing during the war. And so Larissa, I wondered if you could just kind of sum up for the folks you grew up with here in Manchester and Connecticut, what message you would like to bring back to them from Ukraine.
I would like people here to know that the war and Ukraine's defense against Russia is very much a collective effort. Even if it's the Ukrainian military that is making the advances, really the majority of Ukrainians, ordinary people have signed up to join the army, but people who are not doing anything military related are still supporting the war effort, whether it means gathering medical supplies, finding much needed tourniquets, tactical first aid kits, cooking, helping each other to evacuate or shelter from places which are no longer unlivable. This is very unique and heartening and inspiring as what it means to be a citizen of a country that you love.
Yeah, and you of course been writing this newsletter called the Kind of Refugee that you send out via email, and I guess it's also available on Substack, is that correct?
Yes.
And I've been reading it, and one of the messages that comes through loud and clear there and in your talk tonight where you read from that newsletter is that unfortunately for Ukrainians right now pacifism just isn't an option. And so I wonder if you might want to address that point a little bit.
There's a very lovely, succinct phrase to think about. If Russia stops fighting, the war will end. If Ukraine stops fighting, Ukraine will disappear.
Yeah, and at the end of the question and answer period here tonight, you sort of raised the question yourself of how you think this will end, and you addressed that very succinctly, and I wondered if you might be able to tell us what you had to say on that.
I believe Ukraine will win. That is what I'm doing right now, is everything that I can to help Ukraine win, and Ukraine will win with your help. Ukrainians en masse are doing more than they can in order to clear their territory of Russian occupying forces, and the support of the United States, the American people, the American government is helping Ukraine get its territory back and eventually secure its land as a democracy, and an inspiring one at that.
Well, thank you very much, Larissa. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.